Welcome to the Morse code program. So this assignment, we need to write out SOS, Morse code, in Morse code on this LED. And we also were tasked with figuring out the correct timings of SOS. So SOS is ... And the timings in between the letters and the words are, and in between, you have three different pauses you need to make here, okay? So the pause between each of the dots of a letter or each of the dashes of a letter need to be 1 dot in length. The pause between each of the letters needs to be 3 dots in length. The length of the pause between a word needs to be 7 dots. And the amount of time for a dot is 1 unit, and the amount of time for a dash is 3 dots, or 3 units of time. So we have 1 unit for dots, 3 units for dashes. In between each element of dots, in between each element of each letter, you have a dot pause, and then in between each letter, you have a dash pause, and in between each word, you have 7 dot pause. So let's take a look at the code. I probably kind of over-engineered this thing a little bit, but I just learned Python. I did take Paul McWhorter's Python class. It was awesome. And I tried to flex those muscles a little bit. So we're doing machine import pen, which we have to do every time to access the pens on the board. We're bringing in the time library so we can use sleep. And we're defining our red LED as this LED right here, which is connected to GPIO 15. We're setting it to pen.out so we can write to it as an output. And then we're setting, the only thing that we really have to change if we want to change the way the timing is on this thing, you have to set the length of time for a dot. And this is 0.2 seconds. And then the dash length is, like we talked about, is going to be 3 dots. And okay, we have, I think I wrote 6 functions here. So we have a function for dot, which turns the LED on and then pauses for the length of a dot, and then turns the LED off and then pauses the length of a dot again. And for dots and dashes, like I said, we're pausing for a dot length of time in between components of a letter. So then here's the one for dashes. Same as the dot function, except it sleeps for a dash length of time after it turns the LED on. When it turns the LED off, it's still going to sleep for the dot length of time, because that's the same between the two. New letter, this is the pause in between letters. So we're going to turn the LED off for a dash length of time, but remember, between the dots and dashes up here, we already have a dot length pause. So we're doing dash length minus dot length to make the overall pause dash length. In between words, we are doing 6 dot lengths instead of 7, because like I said, we have these dot lengths up here in between each of the elements of each letter. So now we have dots, dashes, new letters, new words, all defined. And now we can start working on making our S's, which is a dot, 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 new letter, or O's, dash, 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 new letter. And I did use semicolons in between here. I just didn't want to put dot, dot, dot on separate lines. This is already long enough. So while true, the infinite loop setup here, SOS, new word. All we do is make function calls, and then those function calls are making function calls. So yeah, I had a lot of fun writing this code. And the cool thing was it worked the first time. You believe that? So we're going to come back over here to the Raspberry Pi. I'm going to go ahead and run the script. Okay, and you saw that's dot, dash, 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 dot, 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 and then long pause, and then it starts over again. So yeah, it works perfectly. And then if I do want to change the timing, like if I was really just wanted it slower, just all I have to do is change dot length. Oh, stop it. All I have to do is change dot length, and then let's run it again. It should be twice as slow. That's the dots. Man, those dashes are super long now. Yeah. Fun little project. Can't wait for the next one. Thanks for watching, y'all.